Hi everyone, welcome to this part of Chemical Thermodynamics lectures. In this, we will discuss enthalpy and heat capacity at constant pressure. To begin with enthalpy, let's consider a system with its initial internal energy Ui and the system is maintained at constant pressure. That means a change in volume is allowed. Suppose the system absorbs Q amount of heat from the surroundings and using a part of this heat, the system can perform work like this. And another part can be used or can be stored as internal energy of the system. That means during the whole process, the system internal energy changes and in the end, the system has got a new value of internal energy noted by UF, and the change in internal energy during the process is the difference between the initial and final internal energies like this. So, the heat is given and a part is used for work, another part is stored as internal energy, and that part of heat which is reflected in internal energy is called enthalpy. In other words, you can see change in internal energy corresponds to heat and work during the process according to the first law of thermodynamics, and therefore we can say from this example that the change in internal energy cannot be equated to heat because a work component is also involved inside of heat. So you can say the energy experienced by the system in the form of heat, that is called enthalpy. Whereas heat at constant pressure can be equated to the change in enthalpy during a process. For a measurable change, we say it is delta H. And as the system is at constant pressure, you can write enthalpy equated to internal energy plus pressure volume work, and that is as internal energy, pressure and volume, as all the three are state functions, enthalpy is also a state function. And a process accompanies a change in enthalpy delta H, and a state of the system is characterized by a given value of enthalpy. Okay, now we will see the temperature dependence of enthalpy. Enthalpy increases with temperature. Let's demonstrate this through an example like this. The system with its initial internal energy, and as was said before, by absorbing Q amount of heat, the system is performing work, and a part of the heat is stored as internal energy, reflecting in a change in internal energy during the process. And you can measure a particular temperature because there is a change in internal energy, so there is a temperature difference in the final state than the initial state. So you measure a particular temperature at the state of the system in the final state. Now consider the same system but absorbs a higher amount of heat and does the same amount of work as before. Now you see a higher internal energy is stored, that is a higher change in internal energy can observe than the previous case. This will reflect as a higher temperature of the system in the final state. And that is, enthalpies of the system will be different in the first case and in the second case. That means the enthalpy of the system H is dependent on the system temperature. And that variation of enthalpy with respect to temperature but at constant pressure, that is called heat capacity of the system at constant pressure. And it is a very important quantity or important term, heat capacity, because you can write the change in internal energy as the heat capacity and the change in temperature. So during a process, if there is a temperature change occurs with respect to the or based on the heat capacity of the system, you can measure the change in enthalpy of the system. And for a measurable change, you can say delta H, the large change in enthalpy during the process can be expressed as a product of the change in temperature during the process and the heat capacity of the system. So, you have an equation that Qp equals Cp delta T, that is heat at constant pressure corresponds to heat capacity and the temperature change during the process. So you can deduce the definition of heat capacity at constant pressure from this, that the ratio of heat to the temperature difference. So now if you equate the temperature difference to be 1 degree, then you can say the heat capacity can be equated to heat. Or you can say heat capacity at constant pressure is the heat required to raise the temperature of the system by 1 degree. So that's how you define heat capacity of the system. Okay. Now we will see the relation between heat capacities at constant volume and constant pressure. We have seen this CV, the heat capacity at constant volume, in one of the previous lectures, and we will relate this with the heat capacity at constant pressure. So consider two systems. One is having at constant pressure condition, that is change in volume is allowed, and here in the second condition we have got volume kept constant, that is a change in pressure is allowed. So considering the first system, here is a gas kept at a temperature Ti in the beginning, and by absorbing certain amount of heat it can expand. That means a small amount of work is done, and at the end of the process the system achieves a new temperature Tf, and the change in temperature during the process can be written as the difference between the initial and final temperatures. Okay, now we consider the second system, which is at constant volume. That is, by absorbing heat the system cannot expand or compress. That means the pressure volume work is not there. So the whole heat is reflected as its internal energy. That means you observe a larger change in temperature than the previous case. So you've got a difference in temperature corresponding to the final and initial states. But here in the second case, the constant volume case, as there is no work associated, the whole heat given is reflected in internal energy, which is reflected in the final temperature. That means the temperature difference in the second case, that is the constant volume case, is larger than the temperature difference in the constant pressure case. So you can see that heat capacity of the system in the first case, the constant pressure condition is larger than the constant volume condition. That is, by absorbing the same amount of heat, the two systems undergo different temperature change or different internal energy change. So the system whose temperature changes largely is having lower heat capacity than the other system. So you can say this is the constant pressure condition. So you can say heat capacity at constant pressure is larger than the heat capacity at constant volume. And Mayer, a German scientist, given a relation between the two heat capacity terms, that is Cp minus Cv, can be written as Nr, where N is the number of moles of the ideal gas present inside the system. So we have seen in this part of the lectures that we have defined enthalpy, and we have seen the variation of enthalpy with respect to temperature, and we have seen heat capacity at constant pressure and the relation between two heat capacities in the form of a Mayer's relation. Okay, with that now we end this session, and the next big thing to come forward is isothermal process and adiabatic process. We will see these two processes, the work expression and what happens to their internal energies and enthalpies. Okay, so thank you and see you with the new session, isothermal and adiabatic processes.